You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. The Desautels Faculty of Music and the Department of Icelandic Language and Literature at the University of Manitoba have partnered together to present two concerts celebrating Icelandic music and culture. Vorið, Hope for Spring, takes place in Gimli and Winnipeg. And to hear more about it, I'm joined by Victoria Sparks. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Wonderful to be with you, especially on this chilly and wintry start to the day. Excited to talk about A Hope for Spring and hoping I pronounced that correctly, Tori.
You did great. Vorið.
Well, always trying my darndest because I know we have such a vibrant and engaged Icelandic community here in the province. And I certainly appreciate all the help I can get. So let's chat a little bit more about this community and how these two departments at the U of M have come together. Can you tell us more about the initiative and how this all started?
Absolutely. We, in the way that things often happen with musicians, you know somebody and then something comes together and then it starts to grow. And so when my colleague, Mina Chung, and teaching cello at the University of Manitoba, called me and said, I'm bringing in my friend Sibbe, who is coming. We went to school together and he teaches at Oberlin and he's bringing him in to do some workshops and master classes with our students. And he's originally from Iceland. And so she said, I thought I better call you because your family is from Iceland, you're Icelandic. And so, you're probably related. No, I'm not sure. I don't think we are. But that's the way it goes in Gimli.
Yeah.
And so we just thought, let's start putting together some pieces. Let's start pulling together some ideas. And then it started to kind of snowball and grow from there. I do a lot of work with Kathy Wood and Brandon, and we do a lot of Icelandic Canadian composers. Sibbe is, I'm going to try his last name, Bernhardsson.
Sounded great to me.
My Avi will be mad at me that I didn't do it well. So Sibbe is coming in and had a few pieces that were by Icelandic composers. And so we've kind of created a program built around Icelandic composers and Canadian Icelandic composers. We got a few other guests joining us to fill out the section. It's going to be great.
I'm sure it will be. And I want to talk more about your involvement because this really seems like, your two worlds colliding. As you say, I mean, that involvement within the Icelandic community. You have this wonderful duo with Kathy Wood, Viðarnesti, which is just the most clever name.
I love
Wood
it.
Spark. I mean, it is just every time you come on the show, I have to mention it because it really is one of the best names out there. And there's this great video of the two of you hauling your marimba through the streets of Gimli.
It's true. We did get to drive the marimba right past Turgeson's.
Exactly. Hitting all the hallmarks. You also happen to be an instructor at the University of Manitoba. So this just must feel like just a real confluence of passions, right?
It's all really exciting when you kind of get an idea and then you think, oh, well, maybe we could go to Gimli and do the concert. And we called them up, and the Icelandic National League and the Gimli chapters, they've really stepped up to support and sponsor the show. So that's been really great to have some support there. And it was just kind of, even when I called them, they said, that sounds great. Like absolutely, let's go and make sure that we get everything into the local papers and get that kind of promotion going. So that local community support is so meaningful. And it was there right off the hop with this idea.
All right, so let's chat about some of these other guest artists. You mentioned Sibbe coming from Oberlin, former member of the Pacifica Quartet, with whom he won a Grammy. Just like a phenomenal player from one of the top liberal arts colleges out there, Oberlin. Who are some of the other special guests who are coming to town?
We have two guests coming in from North Dakota. We have Katie Smirova and Brett Walfish, and they are the artistic director and executive director of the Rushmore Music Festival, really exciting string festival happening in North Dakota. So they're coming in to join Mina, so that's the string complement, and then Kathy and I are coming in on the marimba clarinet, equal balances, strings, and And then we also have a few of our students joining us.
Oh, wonderful.
So really great opportunity for a couple of our master's students, Miguel Stamato and Breno Barone on cello, Miguel on viola, getting to join in with the group on one of the larger numbers. So that's also really exciting for them to get to sit in with some professionals and be a part of that project.
Yeah, what a cool experience indeed. Especially some really phenomenal players coming to town, joining the outstanding cast of local players. I mean, Kathy, of course, up in Brandon, and then yourself and Mina from the University of Manitoba. The big question here, you've already sort of alluded to this, but some of the composers on the program, there's two Icelandic writers, right?
Two, yes. Thorkel Sigurbjörnsson.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna Thorolfsdottir. And so those are two. Anna especially is quite well known. A lot of her work is getting played quite a bit. I'm not as familiar with Thorkel's work, but I'm very excited about it. His piece is called Aðvörnotum, and which is on spring nights. And so his piece was kind of a little bit where I pulled this title from, this Hope for Spring. I thought, winter concert, we are often ready for spring. This winter it's been a bit strange, but thankfully today it's gotten cold enough that we can say that we're hopeful for spring today. Yeah. And so that's so those are the two Icelandic composers that we'll be featuring. We're looking forward to that.
And then a couple of contemporary Canadians pulling on their Icelandic roots, bringing things right back close to home, right?
Yeah, two very different composers. Fiola Evans, originally from Toronto, her family came from Iceland, so she's actually a fairly recent immigrant. So not necessarily that typical Manitoba New Icelander story, where it's for me, it's my grandparents' grandparents. We've been here a while. So Fiola's work Singer, which is celebrating kind of the transitions of the Icelanders coming to Canada. And then Kenley Christopherson, so local legend, who from Gimli, Manitoba, so he's the local boy. And we're doing two works of his. One, Fairies, based on some of the Icelandic folklore and some of this, believing in all the little sprites and things living in the hills. And then another beautiful lullaby called Into Dreams.
You've performed both Fiola and Kenley's music before.
We have, yes.
You know it intimately. What's it like working with them? Because, again, it is such a fascinating duo that the two of you present, clarinet and marimba. It must be exciting for them chatting with you and you working with them in turn, right?
Well, that's one of the joys of working with living composers, is getting to kind of celebrate all of the ideas and getting to work through ideas and try things and see what works, and even sending it back and saying, hey, this is a little bit uncomfortable. Can we try it a different way? I have an idea. Or getting pushed out of your comfort zone. Fiola was the first composer that Kathy and I ever suggested that we try bowing the marimba with. And we just fell in love with the blend of the bowed marimba and the clarinet, especially those two instruments together. As a percussionist, I'm used to everything that I play kind of sticking out and being quite articulate. And so with the bow and the clarinet, I was like, I get to blend? Like this is not a normal feeling for me. And so we started saying to composers, have you thought about bowing the marimba?
Yeah.
So it's become something that we use quite a bit now in a lot of our work.
Is there a term for that? Have you made your own term for bowing marimba? Is it a spark bow or something? Is there a term we could apply?
No, there are sparkle bows, though, which are the little baby bows that kids use.
Oh, look at that. So perhaps you'll use one of those at the concert. Now, of course, this is all stuff that people can hear. Two performances happening, one in Gimli, 2 p.m. So if people are looking to make the drive out on Sunday, or if they happen to be tuned in from Gimli, that taking place at the Bethel Waterfront Center in Johnson Hall. There's a second performance happening in Winnipeg on Monday. Where can people go for more information or for tickets?
For more information, probably the best place is the Desautels Faculty of Music Facebook page or Instagram pages. If you're following those accounts, you'll see some updates coming from there. Both concerts are free, so that's really exciting. The Waterfront Center, we're excited to have hopefully a good full house there. So, and also there's an ice festival going on in Gimli, so hopefully there'll be some people around in the area. So we're looking forward to that one. So it'll be a full program on Sunday, and then on Monday we do our Music at Midday series, which is about a 50-minute concert. So it kind of can fit it into your lunch hour if you've got the time to pop out to campus if you're in the area. It'll be in the Vocal Arts Room, which is on the second floor of our maze of a building, but there will be lots of signs, and we'll make sure you get to the right place.
Maze of a building is a good way to put it. But yes, like you say, 2 free concerts, full program happening on Sunday. So if you're looking for something to do, I just love the drive to Gimli too. I need to say it. It's just such a wonderful escape. Being right there, lakeside. It's just such a wonderful get out of town sort of moment. So perhaps you're considering doing that, or if not, here in town on Monday. Tori, it's been wonderful having you here in the studio.
Always a pleasure.